red stripe. Premier League. I miss one bag of gold medal pan me now. Red stripe alone champion boy go. Pan a pour them a singing Anthem. Red stripe, watcha. Man, shall I be the forward boy? Red stripe Premier League champion boy score. Every goal when I run from boy. Red stripe Premier League champion boy now. Pop down we run the marathon boy. Them wish I never made it that the champion boy pan. Now man I done a songsters boy. Red stripe Premier League.
2 days before Christmas Day and the streets in Kingston busy, and it's time for Red Stripe Football Mondays. Waterhouse, former champions of the Premier League, current table toppers, they're at home at the Jerusalem Stadium against the struggling Maligns United. First time in the top flight Maligns. They're winless in their last 12 matches, but when you think of the fact that they had won their first 6 on a trot and were the top team back in September and early October, you wonder where their form has gone and how, Dwight Jeremiah, will they turn the tables tonight against the top team?
Well, Safa Paul would have been proud. They got out of the blocks early in the season. But yeah, they're in free fall now, and they're picking a tough game to really try and kickstart their season again. It's going to be difficult for them tonight, and they're going to have to be good going forward as well as in defence. That's
for sure. Waterhouse, the best team in attack, the best team in defence at the moment, and the Maligns will be struggling. They've only scored 1 goal in their last 6 matches, this Maligns team, and they're under real pressure tonight. This match tonight will end the 19th round of the Red Stripe Premier League for 2019-2020, and here are Sunday's results. Portmore United, 4 games on the trot now with victories, 3-1 over Veer United. Tivoli Gardens coming up with 2 late goals to get a share of the points against UWI. Humberland 1-0 over Harbourview. Cavalier getting a goal from the teenager Chanel Thomas to stop Mount Pleasant in their tracks, and Dunbeholden a 3-0 victory over Arnett Garns. You were on commentary last night as Dunbeholden gave Arnett Garns a lesson in the jungle.
Arnett Gardens, they were chasing shadows all the game, and Phillips there and Rodriguez, he was 40 on that goal, but with the 2 to come after that, had no chance in it. But that was really, you expect your goalkeeper to do better. This was the pick of the bunch, and I guess Thomas here, he showed good strength, good pace too, and at the end just cut across the defender. Good finish, composure was lovely, and then he turned provider Thomas. Just as the defender committed himself, he passed to his partner in crime, McFarlane, and he buried. And Rodriguez, no chance. That was a beautiful finish there. And Maligns, Dunbeholden really were good last night.
Yeah, really good win there. And Arnett Garns, because of that defeat, losing number 3 spot in the standings to Humberland, who got their victory. And Humberland now 8 points off leaders. Waterhouse, Mount Pleasant losing some ground with that loss as well. 4 behind the leaders. Portmore in 5th, Cavalier in 6th, Dunbeholden in 7th position. All those teams on, well, 25 points for Cavalier and Dunbeholden. Portmore just ahead on 30. UWI, Veer, bottom of the table.
And as they say, the tables don't lie, and Waterhouse really sitting pretty at the top. Could extend their lead tonight. Molynes really must do something to keep themselves getting into that relegation zone. But I thought last night Portmore and Humberlands, they were big winners because they really made up grounds on the leaders in the table.
That's for sure. And this Waterhouse team, no team has a good goal difference as they have with 20 their goal difference. We remember the meeting they had back in November in the first round. Waterhouse by 2-1 over the Maligns team. A lot has happened since then because Waterhouse has continued to look good, improved even, and Maligns have dipped somewhat.
You thought about them doing well in that game and really putting up a good show. They're going to struggle to do that tonight because they're going to have to really change their form and their fortunes, because really it's free fall for Maligns, and if not for the good start, would have been in trouble.
Yeah, they're still 5 points above the drop zone, Maligns, so they still have some room to be worrying seriously about relegation. The Waterhouse team, top team in the league at the moment, as we said, beaten finalists 2 years in a row, and they are steady, and they need to get some things right to ensure their good form continues.
They've been getting better and better, and if they want to really show that they're the best in the land, then they could extend their lead to 7 points tonight. Just need to keep scoring, doing what they've been doing all season long, and if they do that tonight, I really can't see Maligns getting anything out of this game.
Yeah, so a difficult assignment here for this Maligns team. As we said, they've really struggled since their last victory on the 6th of October, and this Waterhouse team, top of their game at the moment. Waterhouse did have, in the start of the season, an outing in the CFU Club Championship, which helped them as well. Maligns, change of coach mid-season, and that hasn't helped really, but they've got to look at some of the key key factors going into the game tonight?
The veterans will have to come to the fore, because when you are in trouble, you look to persons who have been in the league before, who have been in these positions, who knows what it feels like to win. They're going to have to come big for Malines, and they're going to have to defend for 90 minutes. It's a big task for them tonight, and I think that's most important. For me, Malines must not just jump to winning. They have to start just picking up points, and if they can get a point from it tonight, it would be big for Malines.
Yeah, and we do get the impression from the Malines team that based on the wretched form that they've been showing for the past couple of months, getting a point here from Waterhouse tonight will be okay for them. They just don't want to lose, because losing again puts them in real problems. If they get a point, it will put them 6 points above the drop zone. They're 5 points above that now. So I think that's one of the main factors for them not to go back into this mire of
for Malines. Put on a good show, be competitive, and a point would be good.
Yeah, can't be a bad team, Malines, having won their first 6 games of the season. They just need to find what was working for them back in September and early October. This is the home of champions, the home of world-class sport, and there's NBA action coming up. A double on Thursday night, 8 o'clock, 9 Eastern Caribbean time on Sportsmax 2. The San Antonio Spurs up against the Dallas Mavericks. And then in the other game after that, starting 10:30, 11:30 Eastern Caribbean time, the Portland Trailblazers, they'll be at Utah Jazz. These two on Sportsmax 2.
And it continues on Saturday. We have Philadelphia 76ers. They will be at Miami Heat, and that will be live on Saturday, 8 p.m., 9 ECT.
And on Sunday, also on Sportsmax 2, the Houston Rockets, they'll be up against the New Orleans Pelicans, and that's an 8 o'clock game, 9 o'clock Eastern Caribbean time on Sportsmax 2. So lots of action coming up in the coming week, and apart from the NBA, there's Red Stripe Premier League continuing on the weekend, Sunday and Monday, and there's also cricket coming up later on this weekend. We'll tell you more about that. But as we continue the build-up for Maligns traveling here to Waterhouse, the current league leaders, we are going to the break with teams warming up and getting themselves ready here for a battle tonight that we expect to be strong. It's a battle of two Kasafa teams. Malines, as I said, just 2-1 losers to the Waterhouse team when they met back in November, and hoping to give the tournament leaders a big fight tonight. There's the Waterhouse team in their warm-up. The build-up to Red Stripe Football Mondays continuing after this break.
We are ready.
The role is to continue to drive for the development of the game here. Although players are selected from clubs abroad, they were developed in the league.
They're really quality players and they have really good attitude, and you get your money's worth.
This match has turned up several gears.
Stripe Football Mondays tonight. We've had an overcast evening, and there's a slight chance of rain tonight. Pretty humid, and moderate temperatures at 27 degrees Celsius. And this is the match that will end the 19th round of the Premier League for 2019-2020. And the red-hot championship leaders, Waterhouse, are looking for a 7-point lead. 2006, the last time they were champions. They were champions also in 1998. Runners up the last 2 years, this Waterhouse team, and their fans are hoping that 2019-2020 will be their year to break a 13-year run of no titles for Waterhouse. Colorado Murray, a striker coming from Tivoli last season. He also played for Harborview, had 12 goals last year for Tivoli, was leading scorer, 9 goals already this season for Colorado Murray. He's hot, and the Waterhouse team will be looking to feed him with opportunities here. This season, just 2 fewer than Colorado Murray, second leading scorer, big, strong attacking player who wants to get some more goals tonight and wants to fire Waterhouse toward victory.
Well, he's a good creative player for them, an attacking player, attacking midfielder who likes to go into the box and score goals, as you just mentioned, Lance, and for sure I'm expecting him to make those runs tonight. And earlier Lance spoke with Damian Gordon.
Gordon, top of the table at the moment, and things are looking good for Waterhouse. You're up against a struggling team tonight who are searching for a result which they haven't had since the early part of October. What's the game plan for tonight?
The directives are simple. We're at home, so we always try to win at home. Irrespective of the opponent and where they are in the competition, we are striving to get a victory tonight.
The fact is that your nearest rivals, Mount Pleasant, suffered a setback yesterday. Makes things a little easier for you at the top of the table at the moment.
I wouldn't say that it's a very long competition, but tonight is a good opportunity for us to stretch that lead. So we expect all guns blazing tonight.
Talk to me about how training has gone, because your team has been very steady. The steadiest team in the league so far this season. As we said, you're the best team in attack, you're the best team in defense. Are you completely satisfied with Waterhouse right now?
Oh, not at all. We still have a long way to go. We still have a lot of areas that we need to strengthen, and we do have some areas that are weak areas for us. So we have to keep working.
Now, although the result against Molynes last time was a victory for you, it was only by 2-1. What do you recall from that match that tells you, strategy-wise, what you have to do tonight?
Again, we cannot look on that game because this team tonight might be a completely different team. The mindset is different. At that point, they were winning. They had a little confidence. Tonight now is more of their back are against the wall, so we expect them to come out and give their best. And so we are up against that, so we expect to do our best as well.
So Damian Gordon, the assistant coach there of this Waterhouse team, looking for a result tonight from his team as well. Maligns, first time in their history in the top flight. They were founded back in 1991, this Maligns team, and is the latest CASAFA team, that's Kingston and St Andrew Football Association, to be promoted into the top flight. They have a tough night here tonight against a team that is flying at the top of the standings. Banty Hugh Stewart, former Paul Bogle student in the Costa Cup football, played for Reno last year, played with a lot of skill, a lot
league a while back, but definitely full of confidence. You wonder with his team and not doing well how his confidence is, but he will need to build on that.
Also in the Molynes lineup tonight, Anthony Greenland, who was a successful attacking player for UWI, scored 20 goals for UWI, all told in the last 3 seasons, and he's one to be on tonight for this Molynes team.
When we talk about Molynes needing to call on their veterans and players with the experience, he will most definitely have to really come to the fore for this Molynes team. And we'll hear what the plans Molynes have in store for Waterhouse tonight. Earlier, Lance spoke with Craig White.
Assistant coach Craig White, problems for Molynes, no wins for the team since the 6th of October, and things at the moment appear as if they can't get any worse. What will be happening tonight for your team?
Well, to start with, it can't get any worse. You know, we can't use this game you know, and try to push forward. We've been trying to find it, not scoring goals, getting opportunities. You know, the end results of games like those. We're coming out on a long haul, but, you know, working on it internally and on the field. We're working on it, and hopefully with our back against the wall like this one, yeah, we never lose hope. So it's only a fitting place to get started.
I've heard the coaches post-match talk about missing a lot of opportunities. You've scored just 1 goal, Molynes, in their last 6 matches. I guess it might be a good sign that that 1 goal came in your last match, although you lost. Are you seeing an improvement at all in this team?
Definitely. In attitude mainly. Team play, love. But pertaining to opportunities with the goals. Our last game, the previous game against Mount Pleasant, we were happy that we got that 1 goal. You know, it's a loss, but the 1 goal is what we strive on. We might turn around something, we might build a confident level. And as you say, it's just up to individuals now to believe that it can be taken when given. You know? So that is where we've been losing out of, you know, to be more competitive scoring goals in the games.
Yeah. This present coaching staff wasn't around when the Molynes team won 6 straight matches at the start of the season. The problem started way back in the middle of October, and you're trying to solve them now. Specifically, apart from goal scoring, are there other areas in the team play that are problematic for you?
For Coach and I don't want to stress too much internally, but from where I've been and the experience that we have had, you know, it's just about the players, them respecting each other and love each other. You know, we can't tell too much about what was happening when the times was high and gloomy. But obviously there were things within the camp which bring it down, you know, so we're trying to level that out with the players first and foremost. The management staff and the higher levels need to do their part, but it's getting there with the players, them understanding the level of love and respect have to translate on the football field. So it's getting to that point, and it's a part of the improvement plan as well.
And Craig White, finally, as you look to break a 12-game winless streak, I would think that the Waterhouse team is probably one of the most difficult teams that you'll be up against to try to achieve that, because they're top of the table, best attacking team, best defensive team defensively, overall statistically in the league. So this is a tough match tonight, isn't it?
And yes, the previous games have all been tough, especially the previous one with Mount Pleasant. Similar type of playing team, fit, technically sound. They are in their home yard. I know what over here is like. But again, you know, if the players then what we have right now realize what football do, you know, it's the type of game where you crawl from as a bottom of the table, or a team where you're back against the wall. You know, we watch so much games overseas on the Sportsmax network and see what Watford do and see what other teams. That's one of them moment there. So again, it does come down to the players them, what them really want out of it, you know. So hopefully then we find the opportunity to grasp it and grasp it. Whether if it's a point, you know, it would stop whole heap of bleeding right now. So we're hoping and praying again now. The game will tell itself. Battling ground.
Craig White in an advantageous position here as an assistant coach for the Molynes team, because he knows the Waterhouse culture, a successful player with Waterhouse in the past. In fact, he was captain of the last team that Waterhouse used to win the Red Stripe Premier League Championship back in 2006. So he knows Waterhouse very well. He was a hero here over a decade ago, and he's trying to stop them tonight.
That would be very important tonight, because he would have to use that to get his players ready for this encounter, having them be aware of what they're going to come up against tonight with this Waterhouse team.
The home of champions, Red Stripe Premier League football, Monday night action. Kickoff in approximately 12 minutes from now. Don't forget, next week, Monday night, Mount Pleasant up against UWI. So that's number 2 against number 11. This match will be played in Kingston at the Tony Spalding Sports Complex on Monday night. As usual, the pre-game show starts 7:30, 8:30 Eastern Caribbean time, and it will be on Sportsmax 2. But we're closing in on kickoff time here. The fans at Waterhouse getting excited because their team is hot, and they're up against the team that hasn't been doing too much for a couple of months. Waterhouse against Maligns coming up.
Defender to electrify the crowd. Look at this piece of play. I'm gone. And we are ready.
The role is to continue to drive for the development of the game here. Although players are selected from clubs abroad, they were developed in the league.
They're really quality players and they have really good attitude and you get your money's worth.
This match has turned up several gears.
One bag of gold medal pan me no. Red stripe alone champion boy go. Pan a pour them a singing Anthem. Red stripe, watch out. Man shall I better forward boy. Red stripe Premier League champion boy score. Every goal winner run from boy. Red stripe Premier League champion boy now. Back down we run him all again boy. The Red stripe Premier League champion boy. Yeah yo.
The Drewsden Stadium in Waterhouse, home ground of the Red Stripe Premier League Championship leaders, the venue tonight for Red Stripe football action. Waterhouse at the moment top of the table by all of 4 points, and they're up against the struggling Maligns United. Red Stripe football Mondays and the kickoff coming up in less than 10 minutes from now, as we're getting ready to watch a match here that will see a Maligns team that started the season on fire. 6 wins from their first 6 matches, but since then no wins at all since the 6th of October, and they're in real problems here, this Maligns team. They beat Mount Pleasant, the current number 2 team, back on the 6th of October, and they haven't had a win since that. But what a way to look back at your last win, a win over Mount Pleasant.
And they have to dig on anything positive, this Maligns team. And you feel the good thing is that they have a 5-point cushion above the drop zone. And for those teams in the drop zone, not really looking as if they want to come out of it. So for Maligns tonight, a point, not even to say to win it, a point would be a big point for them.
The points table at the moment showing Waterhouse with a comfortable 4-point advantage. If they win tonight, they'll move 7 points ahead of Mount Pleasant, who were beaten last night in their game. And that was their first loss, the Mount Pleasant team, after a 3-game winning streak. And Maligns United, of course, if they win tonight, they'll improve their positions as well. But the teams are getting ready for action here. Waterhouse, usually a very vociferous home crowd, willing their team on. Maligns will be struggling tonight, first of all, to keep pace with the red hot Waterhouse team, and also to fend off the very menacing Waterhouse fans. Here are the finalists ahead of match time.
Fruits. Favorite coach, alright? But you know, say Colorado Murray. Yeah? It's Colorado Murray, you have to look out for that youth. It's a Moulton, you have to look out for that youth. Yeah, them youth there. And you see the score tonight, enough goal we have to score, you know. Yeah, man, over 3, man, 3 or more. Nah, score less, but I tell you, I must more. You hear me I say? Yeah, AKA Fruits, man. Waterhouse for life. You hear me I say? Big up Olympic way, Tower place.
Okay, so looking for at least 3 goals tonight. By the way, Waterhouse have the record for the biggest win of the season so far this year. Back in September, they defeated Harborview by 7 goals to 0. And judging from the words of that fan, maybe they'll be threatening that scoreline tonight.
And I'm not surprised that he's thinking that way. And he knows his football quite well, and he knows the form that this Maligns team is in. And he's expecting his Waterhouse team to just go for the kill.
Yes, so the match officials getting ready to take the field. Shane Nation will have the whistle. Maligns playing in black tonight, and Waterhouse in their traditional light blue and yellow strip. History being created tonight. Maligns in their first Red Stripe Premier League television night fixture on Sportsmax, and they will want to make it count.
Very often, Lance, I see teams doing so well when they play on the lights, especially when they're not used to it. It really gives them a lift. And as I said, Maligns will be looking for everything positive that can really spur them on into this encounter.
34 goals for Waterhouse so far this season. Best attacking team in the league. 14 goals conceded. Also best defensive team in the Red Stripe Premier League. Maligns, conversely, on a 12-game winless streak. They've scored just 1 goal in their last 6 matches. That goal of 4-1 loss to Mount Pleasant last week. Their stats poor, 17 goals in their 18 matches. Only Veer United in the relegation zone with 15 have scored fewer goals. But will this be the night for Maligns? Here's the national anthem. Game faces on for both teams as they get ready for battle tonight, and you can feel the excitement building already at the Jerusalem Stadium here, because these Waterhouse fans love their football as much as any team across the 14 parishes of Jamaica.
Most definitely, and the fact that they know that they can really extend their lead and really create some good amount of daylight between themselves and second place Mount Pleasant. And if they were to relegation zone, and they use these big occasions to really mount a comeback, and it's going to be important for Maligns tonight to try and do that, and they would have seen that they're perilously close to that drop zone and would definitely want to do themselves some favors in creating some cushions there.
Jeremy Nelson, who was with Cavalier last year in the number 6 shirt, the captain of this Maligns team. Keith Simpson, captain of the Waterhouse team. There was the coin toss, and Waterhouse getting ready for battle here. Both teams pretty strong. You know, the Molynes roster, when you look at it, it's not a bad roster. It's just that they aren't getting the results, and very, very worrying signs for their new coach, Calvert Fitzgerald, and Craig White, their assistant coach. The Waterhouse starting roster: Zimoy Nash, new goalkeeper Mark Miller, who has missed most of the season, very, very solid right full back, Finlayson, Denardo Thomas, Sean Laws, Ricardo Thomas, Keith Simpson, Kenroy Howell, Stephen Williams, and up front Andre Moulton and Colorado Murray from Tivoli last year.
And they have a very fluent system in this 4-3-3 system. Murray is going to look to get a lot of joy, but keep your eyes on Stephen Williams. We expect him to do very well in this encounter.
And look at the focus and the huddle from this Molynes team. It's almost a do-or-die night for them. Leon Taylor will be in goal for them. Damian Thomas, Kimar Siv Wright, who formerly played for Tivoli, Keith Wright, Tyrese Winter, Fakibi Farquharson, Oreen Ferguson, Sergina Frankson, Tyreek Wilson, Jeremy Nelson, Anthony Greenland. That's their starting roster. Fancy Hugh Stewart along with Nicholas Nelson on the bench tonight.
And they play this 4-4-1-1 with Nelson being the supporting striker. And they are going to want to have distinct lines. The longer they can keep their shape in this encounter is going to be very important for them. And I expect between those two banks of 4, not much space for the attacking players for Waterhouse to operate. That must be their game plan.
Yeah, and when you think of players of the strength of Nicholas Nelson and Fancy Hugh Stewart on the bench tonight, we are immediately identifying that Maligns have some options in attack coming from off the bench. And I don't know why I feel that Maligns will be giving Waterhouse a lot of trouble tonight. I like the focus that I'm seeing in the Maligns team. I like the words from Craig White, their assistant coach. He spoke of bottom of the table teams rising to challenges in the way that Watford did against Manchester United yesterday. And those are some of the thoughts that the coaching staff will be driving into the minds of this Molynes team here as they tackle a free-flowing Waterhouse team.
Most definitely, Lance. I think he could have brought you in as a motivating speaker for them. Yeah, those are the right notes for sure. You're hitting them, and for sure they'll have to draw on everything from anywhere.
So here's the kickoff. Whistle from O'Shane Nation, and that kickoff in the middle of the field from Anthony Greenland. Malines looking aggressive here at the start. Big Sean Laws gets into problems here because Jeremy Nelson almost strips him of the ball, but Big Laws recovers. Well, he intended to play that ball out, but he didn't hit it with enough pace.
I think Nelson will be a little bit disappointed there. Just couldn't get his feet sorted out and just couldn't take advantage of that.
Miller with an interesting ball across his goal area. Usually not advised. Skillful Howell goes away down the left side. Does really well here. Thomas with a cross in. Side on that play.
It was a good play and good overlapping play as well. And they created numbers up on that occasion, 2v1. And once they got into that position, you knew it was going to be a ball played into the box. But give Molynes credit. Defensively, they were well shaped there. Dealt with it, and they won't mind that because they would have come into this game expecting to be under pressure for a lot of it.
Well, here's Miller with a corner kick. Looks a few pounds heavier than he did last year. Damian Thomas with that stop on the near post just now, the corner resulting. Miller's corner to the near post. Soreen Ferguson. Molynes on the advance. Ball slid through. Goal! Molynes United stuns Waterhouse, the championship leaders, early. After 2 minutes. Molynes, they mean business tonight.
It was a good break from Molynes coming from the corner kick, and they found an outlet, and that's going to be so important for them. But once that ball was played out, and as you see here, good ball played into the box, and Frankson didn't really get hold of it, but in the end it worked for him. And I think Molynes now, we spoke about it in the build-up to the game, they will have to defend well. Now they're in front, and again see their good counter-attacking play, and that came from a corner kick for Waterhouse, or on the back of a corner kick.
Third goal of the season for Frankson, scored against Tivoli and also against UWI back in November. And Molynes have given Waterhouse something to think about early. Farquharson challenged, but this is the start that Molynes wanted.
Definitely, and Farquharson really had played a good ball in there. This is a youngster, Farquharson, who attended Calabar, played schoolboy football 2 seasons ago, and would have been proud of that play and showing that he's making good transition to the big times.
Waterhouse won't be overly worried about conceding that goal. Of course, they're comfortably top of the table, and we're still so early in the match that many things can happen between now and minute 90. Molynes looking for more success. Ball smashed over the top, unthreatening on that play.
Farquharson with that free kick on that occasion, really, and you feel Molynes will have to make do with their set pieces. That's going to be a good avenue for them to really hurt this Waterhouse team, and he would want to do much better if given another opportunity from set piece.
Howell, Simpson, Miller, Slightly overhit that play from Miller. One of the things that we've got to look carefully at now, Dwight, is how they respond, this Molynes team, to the fact that they've taken such an early and, you have to say, unlikely lead against the championship leaders.
Team, they have to get into the half of Waterhouse and play most of the football there. Can't give away a silly turnover like they just did. They're going to have to keep that shape. Those banks of four, it's going to have to be very pronounced.
Calvert Fitzgerald took over as this Maligns coach after Liz Sims was fired in late November. But so far, the winless trend hasn't changed with the new coaching staff. Comfortable tape by Taylor in the Molynes goal.
Cross from Williams, just a bit too close to the goalkeeper.
Denardo Thomas, overhit, looking for his brother. He put a little bit too much pace on that one, well, a lot too much pace and height as well. That was for Molynes their first open play goal since the 17th of November, which Frankson himself had scored against UWI. Their goal against Mount Pleasant was from the penalty spot. Simpson. Nelson penalized for the challenge on his opposing captain. Big kick toward the far post. Williams chasing, secures a corner kick for Waterhouse.
I mean, these defending set pieces, Molynes, we spoke about them having to do well in terms of trying to get something to hurt Waterhouse from the set pieces. They're going to have to be very concentrated, very organized, and defending these set pieces from Waterhouse.
Corner, right toward the penalty spot. Oh, it's almost in. The goalkeeper, Taylor, just kept it off the line. And the whistle as well.
The initial header fell into the lap of the Waterhouse attacker. It's a good corner. Just couldn't get his shot off.
Yeah, but anxious moments there for this Molynes team. As they tried Keith right there, right on the goal line, trying to ensure that if anything missed his goalkeeper, he'd be there to cover.
I suspect we're going to see a lot more of that as this game goes on. And as long as it does not cross the line, I think Molynes will be well okay. I think they'll be flustered by the fact that they're going to come under a lot of pressure and a lot of goal mount activity that they're going to have to deal with. In a way, Lance, you feel they're happy they're in front, but I don't know how happy the fact that the goal came so early.
Yeah, an unfortunate call there against Kenroy Hall. Both of them were going for the ball, and there was what looked to me to be more of an entanglement. Williams Covering a lot of ground on the right here for Waterhouse. Big, strong player Stephen Williams. Stopped eventually. Spent some time at Humberland and Portmore. Miller can't keep it in. Throw to Maligns, deep inside their own half. So Maligns satisfied with the start they've got here with the Frankson goal after 2 minutes. They're in no haste at the moment. They would want to ensure that they keep the game at their pace and measure their efforts here against a dangerous Waterhouse team. Miller, Simpson, Williams. No danger there to the Molynes goalkeeper, Taylor.
And in these opening 11 minutes, you can see the pattern of play from Waterhouse. Getting a lot of joy when they go against the fullbacks from Molynes, and see a few crosses coming into the box. And Molynes will have to try and see if they can defend better from those wide positions.
Howell snatches the ball. Very skillful on the ball, Kenro Howell. Denardo Thomas goes for goal. Problems here. And eventually, Keith Wright sneaks in and helps his goalkeeper out.
Well, they needed to react quick as there, and Maligns, they were outnumbering the Waterhouse players in the penalty box. But that shot had some swerve on it. Yeah, just at the last minute, dipping in front of goalkeeper Taylor.
Fine effort as well, and here comes Taylor with a fine save. Okay, so Maligns had the advantage, or have the advantage on the score sheet, but Waterhouse are rallying.
Waterhouse here peppering the goal for Maligns here.
Fine effort there from Mark Miller.
Really looking for the postage stamps finish in the top corner.
Sean Laws on the set play. Molynes trying to capitalize quickly there on the transition play, but Waterhouse smart in defense.
And it lands the goal from Molynes. It came from on the back of a corner kick from Waterhouse, and Molynes looking to really counter and take advantage of Waterhouse committing players forward for these set pieces. And it's going to be a pattern of their play, it seems, tonight.
Steve Wright, long searching ball over to the left channel, just caught in an offside position there, Greenland. There he is. 20 goals combined the last 3 seasons for UWI. 9 goals in 2015-16, 6 goals 2016-2017, and he had 5 last year. First season here with Maligns, Anthony Greenland. Freak to Maligns near the top of their half.
They'll be hoping that Greenland, he can find some of that goal scoring feat that he had in previous years. So far just 1 this season.
There's Steve Wright. Sean Laws breaks the attack up. Williams has pace, goes into the box. Waterhouse, oh, the left-footed strike. Oh, he kicked it as if he wanted to hit that to the coastline.
I wouldn't be surprised if that one hit the back of the net. They would have to do some repairs on it. Really packed a punch behind that one. And again, I spoke about Waterhouse having joy down the flanks. And once they get 1v1 with the fullbacks from Molynes, and you can see their good pace, good turn of pace. Just at that moment, you felt just needed a little bit more composure. And maybe could have just gone for a curler to the far post.
Yeah, well, the goalkeeper was closing in on him, and there was a defender darting in as well, so he felt the pressure of oncoming challenges, and in his haste to get the shot on goal, his technique deserted him, but it was hit with a lot of power. It's just that it was way over the top.
Yeah, and Taylor would have been quite happy to see that one sail over. As if he was on target and he was to pull off a save, that would have been some reflex, because that would have been coming at him at some speed.
Here's Kim Daly on the Waterhouse books, but not geared up tonight. So Keith Wright is the man hurt. I think he was the one that put the most profound challenge on that Stephen Williams advance just now. So he prevented Williams from getting a comfortable strike at goal, but he's now paying the price. He's in pain. Mark Miller's corner kick for Waterhouse, threatening across the box. And now the ball is behind. Kenroy Howell has had a pretty good season so far for this Waterhouse team. 6 goals so far this season.
And so far from the 3 corners that we've seen for Waterhouse, they're winning the headers. 4 corners for Waterhouse, they're winning the headers.
Parkinson goes wide here. Ferguson, delightful ball across. Just arriving late there was Frankson, the goal scorer. That was a pretty threatening ball played across the box.
And so far Frankson, the central midfielder, really making some late runs and not being tracked by the Waterhouse team.
Nelson. Ricardo Thomas satisfied to get the throw. 16 minutes in. Frankson's 2nd minute strike. The difference at the moment between these 2 teams. Finlayson with a long floating ball upfield. Williams going for it. Seabright putting the pressure on. Frankson penalized for that challenge on Stephen Williams, who is sweating profusely after just 17 minutes into the game. So Keith Wright, who hurt himself in that challenge on this man, trying to prevent the goal, looks as if he may take no further part in this match, as he's really in a lot of pain, and the signs are that he will now be out. Taylor latching onto the ball. Colorado Murray doing some really excellent work. Look at the pace he shows here.
And he did well to stay on his feet too. Just got a clip there from the defender. And Taylor had to do well with that, because there were about 3 Waterhouse players just waiting for a spill.
Jeremy Nelson. Finlayson with a clearance out. Keith Simpson under pressure from Parkinson. Oh, there's a strike there. And the referee is going to do something drastic. Oh, yellow card for both. I would think that Parkinson ran pretty close to a red card there, and the reaction from Keith Simpson. Because usually if you strike a player, you run a huge risk of getting a red card, and that's what Parkinson did.
He did, and then the retaliation as well.
Yeah, let's see it here now. Yeah, they're tussling for the ball. He strikes him.
Yes, that's definitely a red card offence.
And then Simpson reacts with a shove.
So it could have been 2 red cards.
Yeah, so O'Shane Nation, the man in charge here, decides that he doesn't want to eject player, but this is a huge wrestle for the ball, and Frankson just slaps Simpson in the back of the head. Here it is now. He does it there, and Simpson is upset and shoves him in the face. A lot of aggression here from these 2 players.
And he can be aggressive, and it couldn't be a physical game without being dirty. That was pretty dirty. And Farquharson, you're right, Lance. That certainly should have been a red card.
Yes, as long as didn't want to be hard on that play.
A lot of times the referee says they want to just manage the game well.
Wow. Excellent defensive work there. Moulton, Simpson, Miller. Moulton.
And you feel what the referee nation might have been thinking about as well, Lance, is that it has not been a dirty game by any means in the opening 20 minutes or so, or up to the point when that incident occurred. So I felt there's no need to really try and send a message.
Yeah, confirming that Wright is now out of the game with injury, and Shane Watson is on in his place in the number 33 shirt. There's the Waterhouse coach, Marcel Gale. Ever since going behind, this Waterhouse team has been hunting for the equalizer. I think they've won a corner here. Stunned into action, this Waterhouse team. They've been pretty dominant since they conceded the goal. But Maligns and their defense line, up to this point, resilient.
I think what they're doing well, Lance, they're really crowding out the centre of the penalty area and making it difficult for Waterhouse to penetrate by that means. And even though they're not winning the duels on the flanks, they have numbers to deal with the cross, and so they've decided maybe to deal with it from that end, to defend it when it's played into the box.
Farquharson. Winter. Waterhouse 61% possession at the moment. So as I said, since they conceded that goal in the second minute, they've been pressing and pressing, but to this point without success. Steve Wright. Winter just giving the ball away there for Maligned. We're halfway through the first half, and the 10th ranked Molynes are leading the number 1 team. Howell. Oh, Denardo Thomas turns his man really well there, but Tyreek Wilson doesn't take it, fouls him instead.
It's a beautiful turn. He rolled and he used the body of the defender, just rolled. And it was a neat turn there, and anything to stop him going forward.
Free kick to Waterhouse. Keith Simpson and Mark Miller, the players standing behind it. A 3-man wall here set up by Malines. Nation positions the wall to where they have to be. Waterhouse looking for the equalizer. Keith Simpson. No threat, not much power, and Taylor in goal for Molynes, confidently behind the ball.
Yeah, compensated the power there for do you feel as this game goes on, if it stays this way, he's gonna get even much more busier than he has been in these opening 24 minutes.
Mark Miller.
lovely defender to electrify the crowd. Look at this piece of play. Oops, I'm gone. And we are ready.
The role is to continue to drive.
Maligns on the counter. Greenland. Here's Greenland. Greenland. Sean Laws. Not committing himself initially, just watched and see what Greenland was doing. And then took the ball out of his path pretty easily in the end.
I think Greenland needed to have turned the defender somewhat. He should have gone to his right. That would have been a better move, you felt. Just drop the shoulder to the left and go right. And that would have meant that the defender would have to be turned to really continue his efforts to try and stop the attack.
First corner for Molynes. Waterhouse have had 5 corners already. Lots of black shirts in the box. Molynes waiting for the scoring opportunity. Williams coming back there to help out. Keith Simpson in some trouble here for Waterhouse. Foul there by Steve Wright, who was up from central defence for the set play.
It wasn't a bad corner kick there from Maligns. It was a testing one and gave Waterhouse some problems. And we, as mentioned earlier, that the set pieces are going to be very important for Maligns. Could provide opportunities for them to really hurt this Waterhouse team.
Moulton trying to go forward. Wins the ball back. Simpson. Miller and Simpson exchanging passes. Moulton trying to flick the ball towards the center. Didn't make the connection. Thomas, Moulton. Free kick to Waterhouse. Top of the Maligns half. Howell. Thomas. Farquharson keeps the ball well. Finlayson gets in there. Murray has space. The goalkeeper is out of position. And here's Kenroy Howell. Oh, Howell had Denardo Thomas there on the top of the box waiting for the ball to be played back to him, but somehow Howell wasn't able to get that done.
He needed to play that one because goalkeeper Taylor was retreating to goal. Might have been searching for the proper position to be in. And you felt Waterhouse there just missed that trick there, just missed the opportunity to really create a chance for them to get back into this encounter. And the mix-up we see there, we saw earlier with Taylor. You see here Taylor, this defender really clattering.
That's just the substitute Watson who came on. So yeah, here was the ball apparently trying to set the ball back there for Denardo Thomas. Yeah, there's the collision between Taylor and Watson, and Taylor, the upper half of his body hit the turf fairly forcefully, so yeah, he'll be a little bit dazed by that, but he has come on as a sub and finds himself in an injury situation before the half-time break.
Might have been a lack of communication there from Taylor. Had left his line without giving any indication that he was going to do so. But in the end, I think all will be forgotten or forgiven because Maligns still hold the advantage in this encounter, at least in the goal department.
Drop ball. Referee Nation. Finlayson. An 18-year veteran of the Premier League, Nikolai Finlayson. There's Williams trying to go forward there, but unable to get past Tyreek Wilson, who's been pretty solid in midfield.
Gale there, Marcel Gale for Waterhouse knows that it's not been easy so far tonight.
Winter under pressure from Moulton. Molynes trying to play with as much composure as they can. Handball. Referee, I was about to say, would allow the play to go on, but didn't.
He couldn't do that because Molynes was still threatening and he wouldn't want them to gain an advantage.
Yeah, I think he hesitated because he thought Waterhouse may have gotten the ball, so he would have just allowed the play to run. But
earlier, I thought Winter, the fullback there, had missed an opportunity to play in the goal scorer, and they were breaking down the line, just held on for it a bit too long because Frankson made a good run. Just needed that ball to play down the line.
Yes, and Nash made a bit of a hash of the clearance just now. Luckily for him, it didn't fall on the boot of an onrushing Molynes player. Yeah, some impatience now in the Waterhouse team. They're seeing the clock ticking by. 15 minutes just under that for the half-time break, and they're still trailing.
You want to think that they should not have to feel that way. I mean, this is a team that scores for fun, and you should believe in the ability to come back against this Malines team that would be short on confidence and will be certainly jittery despite leading this encounter. I'm pretty sure some of them would have been counting down the clock already. So Waterhouse must show some more composure.
To be honest, though, their scoring rate has slackened here in December. Only 1 goal per game in their last 4 matches, this Waterhouse team, compared to the first 14 rounds when they scored 30 goals. So that was more than 2 goals per game in the first 14 rounds, but in the last 4 they've just been 1 per game.
So the decline in goal is mirroring that of Maligns' fall in the table.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Farquharson back to Winter, and this is the composure which I spoke of, making use of the fact that Molynes, well, certainly weren't pressing on that play. Well, Seabright crashes into Williams. I think he's saying he went for the ball, but that's certainly not how it looked to referee nation.
You know, a ball he had and gave up the opportunity with on Seabright there. Pretty much the architect of his own problems. Really, his first touch wasn't good enough, and then he had to create an infringement, definitely barging into the player.
Yeah, he didn't even get a clean contact either, because, well, it was clean enough, yeah, but
enough to cause Williams to go to the turf. But yeah,
complaining that he went for the ball. That certainly was a foul. Referee nation correct with the court. Mark Miller, free kick. Well, at least 6 or 7 Waterhouse men on the edge of the 18 here, so Waterhouse hunger for the equalizer. The Lions defenders getting the ball away. Moulton does really well to get back to snatch the possession of the ball.
I think that was coupled with the fact that the player there from Malines, I think it was Wilson, really dwelled on it for much too long. And again, the goal scorer in Frankson made a good run. And again, I could see him there lamenting that he should have had that pass very, very early.
Greenland getting close, but Thomas gets there first. Now Denardo Thomas sends the speedy Colorado Murray going. Murray comes into contact with Seabright, who slips and makes a hash of the clearance. Williams goes wide to Keith Simpson. Three Waterhouse men in the box. Murray. Very smart challenge from Farquharson. Wasn't dazzled by the fancy footwork of Colorado Murray.
He did what a coach would have asked him to, just keep his eyes on the ball.
Ricardo Thomas. Murray's effort on goal. Damien Thomas trying to prevent the ball from going for a corner. Unsuccessful.
At least he's trying to really lift this Waterhouse team, and they need him more than ever because they're trailing this one. And so often we've seen supporters in Jamaica, their team losing, and they sit quietly. But not on this occasion. These Waterhouse supporters really giving as much help as they can.
Waterhouse. Miller. Threatening corner. Sean Laws going for it. Loses possession, and he's now out of position. And in his haste to get the ball upfield, Frankson gives the ball away.
I could see what he was trying to do, but he needed to go aerial on that one, trying to pick out Greenland. And Greenland was really dotting down that left-hand side. Just needed a better pass.
Frankson, delightful ball through, but Jeremy Nelson can't get by Sean Laws.
Laws did well on that occasion, really needed to track because that was a beautiful ball. It was very much threatening to split this Waterhouse defence open.
Waterhouse, to be fair, since they conceded the second-minute goal to Frankson, have looked willing enough to attack and have been diligent enough in attack to get some reward, but up to this point the Maligns defenders have kept them at bay.
And we did speak about the fact that they will have to defend for 90 minutes. So far so good for Maligns. I just think one area that they need to improve on is with the balls into the box. They need to be first to it. And too often when those balls come into the box, I've seen a Waterhouse player getting on the end of it. Up to this point, not being able to really make it count, but you don't want to give this dangerous Waterhouse team too much opportunities.
Frankson, oh, neat pass forward to Nelson. Oh, this is good stuff here from Molynes. Oh, Nelson's pass across, very wayward, but what initially started as a neat looking build-up and offensive play from the Molynes team went astray.
The intention, good quality, poor. Needed to have played that one into the space in front of the overlapping player.
Wow, Williams just gives the ball away. The fans don't like it. Moulton. Miller in space. Denardo Thomas. Murray.
And Thomas there for Maligns, well positioned. Damien Thomas. And that was better from Maligns, really defending that ball into the box.
Tremaine Stewart, outstanding midfielder for Waterhouse, on the bench tonight. There are at least 7 Waterhouse players in the penalty box looking for the equalizing goal. Ferguson with a long clearance upfield. Ricardo Thomas out jumps Greenland, who is hurt. Yeah, I think he fell badly, Greenland, colliding mid-air with Ricardo Thomas.
It was a good ball over the top because the backspin was on it. Once it hit the turf, it came back into the part where Greenland was, and he was fair enough for him to go for the challenge.
Yeah, collides there with Ricardo Thomas, but then falls heavily on the back.
It was definitely not a foul by any means. If anything, it would have been Greenland who would have committed, because he really went into the torso of the player.
There's Rudolph Speed, technical director of Cavalier.
Would have been happy with their result last night.
Yeah, 1-0 over Mount Pleasant, snapping a 3-game winning streak by the St. Anne team. There's something that you've got to look at with this Molynes team. Although they've been pretty bad, they haven't been all that bad on the road. In fact, they've been better on the road than they've been at home. 3 road wins they've had. They've had more losses at home than they've had on the road, gathering 11 points on the road and only 9 points at home. So far this season, Molynes have gotten better results away from home. And tonight, they're setting themselves up for one of those nights.
Yeah, they're certainly not doing themselves any harm.
Yeah, several of these long balls for Waterhouse being overhit. It's just probably showing that there's some anxiety in this Waterhouse team here, as they're trailing a team that most of their fans expected them to beat comfortably. And their home fans tend to be pretty unsympathetic when they aren't getting the results or the quality play that they want from their team, Waterhouse.
I guess the fans will tell you it's because of that why they have been doing so well this season as well. But Lance, you did say earlier before the kickoff, you did like the signs you saw of the Molynes team.
Yeah, their body language just had some focus and commitment to it.
And it's now reflecting in their play.
Steve Wright with a long kick upfield finds Farquharson. His first touch, though, not as good as it needed to be. Farquharson, a very, very strong player, Farquharson. Only 19 years old, but big and strong and looks comfortable in the top flight.
He is, and as I said, former player of Calabar. Would have played in the Maligned Cup 2016-2017 was his last season.
Here's Laws, another Calabar man, but on the opposing side here tonight. Problems for Waterhouse. Just a bit hasty there. Tyreek Wilson with a play inside, I thought had time to play a more measured pass inside.
No, definitely Lance could have executed better, just needed a composure, had more time than he realized. His field awareness was not the sharpest there.
Brothers Thomas. DiNardo to Ricardo. Howell. Simpson may want to drive this from here. Simpson, he does! What a strike! The rebound! Moulton! Not enough pace. Corner to Waterhouse. Oh my golly. Keith Simpson, you know he strikes them well from distance, and as soon as he got that ball, I knew he had a shot on his mind.
You caught it, Lance, and it really had power. Good placement to it too, but give Taylor credit. Really got down smartly there, and the rebound, it was Maligns really was fortunate that the second attempt did not come off.
DiNardo Thomas, the corner, oh, the header on goal by Keith Simpson, just high. Enormous moments here for Maligns. They lead, but Waterhouse are keeping them completely honest.
Again, from the corner kickers, we've seen again Waterhouse winning the first ball into the box, just not able to turn it on goal. But right now Taylor must be rubbing his palms from that stinging shot.
Molynes looking strong. Oh, DiNardo Thomas comes back with a very vital touch on the ball. He gives up a corner, yes, but it certainly prevented Farquharson from getting an opportunity on goal. We're in the final minute of the first half. Malines through Serginho Farquharson, leading the table toppers 1-0. Jeremy Nelson probably satisfied to go into the halftime break with a lead.
More than satisfied, Lance. I think they would have set some small targets along the way, and I think initially they might have said, you know, it's good if we could go to halftime. Even not losing might have been the term they would have used, and they would have been given a bonus, the fact that they're leading going into the halftime.
Haven't won in 2.5 months, this Maligns team, since the 6th of October, 1-0 over Mount Pleasant.
It'll be about 8 games without a win. 8 straight lost.
Williams, Moulton, Thomas putting the pressure on. Delightful ball in, but Colorado Moore can't get a proper header on. Frustration for the Waterhouse 24-year-old.
Kemar stayed with him. Kemar stayed right there. Stayed with him all the way. Good defensive work, making sure that it wasn't going to be a free header.
Sean Laws. Howell challenges strongly. Oh, here comes Greenland under pressure though. Oh, Nikolai Finlayson fights him off the ball. And the veteran 34-year-old shows that he still has a lot of spunk. Farquharson. Oh, he gives the ball away. Whistle. End of the first half. Malines getting an early advantage here with a Frankson goal, and withstanding a lot of Waterhouse pressure for the remainder of the half to keep their lead. Very, very intense first half this has been.
A very good first half, and Malines really giving as much as they've gotten, even giving more, because they're leading this one, and in half-time break they will use it quite well to get some rest, because they really covered a lot of ground, tracking and running forward on the counter. And Waterhouse, they know they're in a real contest tonight.
If they win this Malines team, they'll move from 10th to 8th on points with Harbourview, and depending on the margin of victory, they will take 8th spot from Harbourview, but we still have 45 minutes left to play, and a lot of time here for the league leaders to repair the early damage. We go to the commercial break. When we come back, we have the first half highlights and our halftime features.
We are ready.
The role is to continue to drive for the development of the game here. Although players are selected from clubs abroad, they were developed in the league.
They're really quality players and they have really good attitude, and you get your money's worth.
This match has turned up several gears. Peter Keys lobs a high ball here to Wall, who drives right across goal. Oh, Taylor fails to hold it well, and Morris comes and rescues him with a clearance.
Should have held that. Mitch the Wall. Nice effort.
Dawson back outside to Isaacs, goes for goal to the near post. Oh, the rebound comes to Dawson. Oh, the spectacular kick from Coleman, and the brilliant save from Plunkett. What a flourish we have to the end of this game. Oh, Gerben Brown turns well here when he's blocked. Now the effort on goal, the deflection, the cross crossbar. Garrison inches away from his 6th goal of the season. Unlucky. I think there was a slight. So at halftime, the leading Waterhouse are in problems here against the struggling Molynes. But they aren't struggling tonight, I can tell you, because they're in front by 1-0 over a Waterhouse team that has responded well to the challenge. Very early in the piece on the counter-attack. This is where Malines breaks away with a pass from out of the bench from Tyreek Wilson. Then Ferguson sends the ball forward. And Frankson gets onto the end of the pass, slides it past the goalkeeper Nash, and gives Malines an unlikely early lead.
Beautiful counter-attacking play. It was 3 passes resulting in that goal, and it was on the back of Waterhouse committing so many players forward for the corner.
Waterhouse looking for the equalizer, almost got one here. Donata Thomas, Kenroy Howell in fact just sliding the ball forward, but just didn't get the ball over the line as he got a left boot in there, but goalkeeper Taylor was right there. More pressure here for Waterhouse. Donata Thomas from distance. Goalkeeper Taylor doesn't handle it that well, and it's Keith Wright that comes in to make the clearance. But that was a testing drive there from Donata Thomas. Drive from the right side, left-footed from Mark Miller, whose right foot is usually his more threatening foot, but that was a fine left-footed effort there from him.
It was good acrobatic save from Taylor as well, really flinging himself to the top corner.
Williams does really well here, gets by his man, and fires a shot at goal, but there's he getting past Thomas very well, and he'll unleash a shot here, but charging in Keith Wright and the goalkeeper. Wright was injured from that play and had to exit the game. Keith Simpson with a powerful drive from almost 30 yards out. Moulton from the rebound, unable to get enough purchase on that shot, left-footed. Yeah, just really didn't get a hold of it, and Waterhouse, the Molynes defenders, were able to recover and get the ball out. So at the end of the first half, Molynes, from the early lead that Frankson gave them, holding on to the advantage, but I must say credit to Waterhouse. They've really pressured for the equalizer. 10 attempts at goal from Waterhouse, 6 on target. Molynes does 1 on target from 3 attempts. 19 fouls in the match so far, 12 of them committed by Molynes players, who have had 2 yellow cards as well, so Waterhouse is 1. But look at the possession. 62% for Waterhouse. So there's no guessing as to which team is enjoying more time on the ball and offensive play, but the important statistic is the one at the top.
Definitely, and Molynes won't be bothered by the fact that I think they would have come here tonight expecting not to have a lot of the possession, and so that would not bother them one bit.
So at halftime, Molynes leading Waterhouse by 1-0. Remember, Molynes are 10th in the table at the moment, and Waterhouse are number 1. So at halftime, Molynes holding the 1-0 advantage over Waterhouse. Time now for halftime feature. Just recapping what has happened over the weekend. Portmore United 3-1 over Beer. 4th win in a row for Bibi Gardens Portmore United. Tivoli coming back with late goals from Donovan Dawkins and Jabor Johnson to earn a 2-2 draw with UWI. Humberland 1-0 over Harborview. Cavalier getting a goal from the teenager Shaniel Thomas, the JC boy, to put the brakes on Mount Pleasant, who've lost their 3-game winning streak. And Dunbeholden 3-0 over Arnett Gardens in a very, very tidy performance over the Arnett Gardens team in the jungle.
That was a big statement for them on the night, and we see here with that game and early in the game, Phillips just a straight shot at the goalkeeper, and Rodriguez should have done better, but Phillips wouldn't mind that, and that kickstart tonight for Dunbeholden. And certainly they might be lucky on that one, but they certainly showed good class, and as we see here, pace from Thomas, and once he got across the defender had no chance, and then he had the clinical finish to go with it. A beautiful change of pace and good strength shown by Thomas, and that to me was the pick of the 3 goals on the night. And shortly after that, Thomas would turn provider and set up his strike partner, but not before. We saw a big miss there from Fabian Reed. Good ball played into the box by Neil, and you expected the net to bulge. Reed was in a bad run of form, couldn't direct that on goal, and then route one, and Thomas again showing good strength, and just as the defender committed pass to his partner in crime, who made no mistake. That was a neat finish as well. And it was Arnett Gardens chasing shadows, so to speak, on the night. Holden was better in all departments, and they got a clean sheet to go with that. A good display on the night. It's a big statement when you go to the jungle and you really put in such a performance and destroy Arnett Gardens, who are doing well this season. And certainly you expect Holden to really kick on from that. You wonder if Maligns took some heart from that coming into tonight's game, and certainly the first half was indicating that they might have just done so.
Yeah, outstanding performance by Holden. Nicoy Christian pulling the strings in midfield for them last night, and Dean Andre Thomas getting one of the goals. He's now second leading scorer in the Premier League with his 10 goals. Corey Burke, who had a double in Portmore's big win yesterday at Veer, the leading scorer at the moment with 11 goals. Dean Andre Thomas on 10, Colorado Murray on 9. So at halftime then, Molynes leading the home team Waterhouse by 1-0. This is the home of champions. We have Red Stripe Premier League football coming up on Monday of next week. It's a 7:30 pre-game show for UWI against Mount Pleasant. This match set for Kingston. It will be played at the Tony Spalding Sports Complex, as Mount Pleasant will be trying to recover from their 1-0 loss to Cavalier on Sunday afternoon. UWI in 11th place at the moment and needing to lift themselves out of the relegation zone. We're not too far away from the kickoff for the second half. Waterhouse having a recovery job to do against struggling Maligns. It's 1-0 to Maligns at the halftime break.
Defender to electrify the crowd. Look at this piece of play. I'm gone.
Peter Keys lobs a high ball here to Wall, who drives right across goal. Oh, Taylor fails to hold it well, and Morris comes and rescues him with a clearance.
Should have held that. Mitch the Wall. Nice effort.
Dawson back outside to Isaacs, goes for goal to the near post. Oh, the rebound comes to Dawson. Oh, the spectacular kick from Coleman, and the brilliant save from Plunkett. What a flourish we have to the end of this game. Oh, Gerben Brown turns well here, but he's blocked. Now the effort on goal, the deflection, the crossbar. Garrison inches away from his 6th goal of the season. Unlucky. I think there was a slight deflection as well. Arnett's on the attack. Good cross inside. Misses everyone.
What a cross. Delicious from Ronaldo right.
Oldham. Good cross from Oldham. Real! Arnett back in business. First goal of the season. Just a couple of minutes away from kickoff for the second half, as Waterhouse and Molynes will continue their battle here. Molynes leading by 1-0, but under a lot of pressure here to withstand the resurgent Waterhouse team. Serginho Frankson with that goal after just 3 minutes, giving Molynes an early advantage, which they worked really hard to protect for the entirety of the first half.
And you suspect they're going to have to do more of the same in the second half in terms of protecting that, but not to go all out defensively. You think that they're going to continue to try and hit a Waterhouse on the counter-attack, and more so set pieces we think are important for Malines, both in defending and making good use of, because we see that they're trying to hit a Waterhouse on the counter when they commit a lot of players for their set pieces, and they just have to be more clinical in their play. And you feel Waterhouse just have to show a little bit more patience, and they've been really knocking hard. And you feel like if they continue to do that, a goal could come. But from the wide areas, I think it's where they'll get more joy, and they just have to. They've been winning the balls into the box, played in the box, Lance. They just need to ensure that they're more clinical with those balls being played in the box.
Yeah, big crowd here at the Waterhouse ground, trying to will their fans, the fans trying to will their team on to a good result here. Of course, they sit at the top of the table by 4 points, this Waterhouse team, but at the moment they're trailing Malines by 1-0. And to be quite fair, it's the Malines defensive line that has had to work tremendously hard tonight, significantly harder, I think, than the Waterhouse defense unit, which does suggest that the Waterhouse team is applying a lot of pressure in the attacking third. But Waterhouse have been unable to pierce the Malines defense line and goalkeeper Leon Taylor up to this point. And Malines have lost one of their defenders, Keith Wright, to an injury. So they already have Shane Watson as a substitute defender in. So their defense line, this Malines defense line, is being tested all night and continuously so. So it wouldn't surprise if at some point Waterhouse breaches their defense with a continued pressure. But look at the focus and the diligence we saw there from this team before the kickoff, and they were rewarded.
You called it right, Lance. You looked at it, and so often, as a coach myself, you can tell what you may get from your players before kickoff based on what the body languages are and also the focus that you get. And in that shot before game time, Malines really looked like they were up for it. And you mentioned, so.
And look at Waterhouse. Now they're showing the kind of focus and so on that would suggest that they're intent on getting back into this game.
And with that goal, you feel, like I said, it was really good counter-attacking play, something you could put into the textbook. 3 passes, and despite not getting hold of the shot, really enough to get it across the line. And I'm thinking, we spoke about it too, that they may, so often we see these teams use these opportunities to really get back on winning terms, and Malines most certainly will want to use this to break the slide, that spell of bad run, 8-game losing streak, and want to use the occasion with the first game on the light and televised live here to really kickstart their season again.
Yeah, so we're about to see the kickoff here, and it's going to be the Waterhouse kickoff. Andre Moulton, former Tivoli man, leading Tivoli goal scorer 2 seasons ago. That position last year was held by Colorado Murray. Now Murray and Moulton are both at Waterhouse and not Tivoli Gardens.
Maybe that's why Tivoli is struggling as they are in the season.
Yeah. There were feelings that Waterhouse may have struggled last season when they lost Kimar Beckford and Cardell Benbow to Mount Pleasant, because those two had been their best offensive players that propelled them all the way to the final 2 seasons ago. But they've been able to solidify their offensive roster, and they haven't missed a beat, this Waterhouse team, even without Kimar Beckford and Cardell Benbow. In fact, Benbow and Beckford struggled to get goals at Mount Pleasant last year, when scoring seemed easy for them at Waterhouse the season before. Miller, good cross. Oh, Donaldo Thomas arrived there, but kind of was stopped in his tracks.
Didn't seem to know much about it, seemed to hit him in the back of the head.
Finlayson just allows this one to go back to his goalkeeper. Moyne Nash.
unpleasant coming out in the second half. Will have set some targets again and would not want to concede. Would expect to be under a lot of pressure from this Waterhouse team early in the second half.
Molynes at the back, Seabright. Shouts from the crowd for a handball call there against Thomas.
It would have been harsh. I mean, that one just, in his effort to control it, just bounced up.
I'm expecting a very intense second half here, because Malines will, I'm sure, play for all their worth to protect their advantage. But we've already seen that Waterhouse, based on their first half play, will not sit idly by and allow this lowly placed team to come and take 3 points from them at their home patch.
Well, if Maligns United do manage to walk away from here with something, then I suspect it's going to be a lot of work. Used up a substitute already, forced. You feel the use of the other two substitutes are going to be crucial in trying to help them really withstand this Waterhouse team.
Williams does well with a cross. Oh, hits the post, doesn't it? Wow. So he needed to drag that ball a little bit further back towards the top of the 6-yard box where there were players waiting on it, but he wasn't getting his angles right there.
Yeah, just fired that one in. It was just more so just to get the ball in the box, not concerned with the quality. But Taylor was covering that near post, and there was no chance that that one was going to sneak in.
Moulton not able to keep control of the ball. Ball banged out of the defensive zone by Big Sean Laws. Greenland. Nelson under pressure. Substitute Watson. Ferguson trying to find Nelson, but Keith Simpson getting in the way. Moulton loses his balance but keeps the ball well. Miller looks smooth on the ball. Moulton. Good passage of play here by Waterhouse. Two-time champions, 1998 and 2006. Kenroy Howell. Denardo Thomas. Mark Miller. Waterhouse pressing and pressing. Finderson high. Nelson. Greenland. Protects the ball well, Greenland. Ferguson. Oh, delightful ball in. Oh, that's an excellent pass. Whistle. And I think Laws is going to get in some trouble here. Yeah, I think referee is speaking to Laws because the whistle had already gone and Laws appeared to strike. Yeah, there was a handball that caused the whistle, but even after that, here comes Laws charging in and smashing into Farquharson. You'd think as two former Calabar men, they would be kinder to each other.
Well, not with the state of this one. I guess after the game they can talk it over, but not doing this game.
Oh, delightful ball across. Oh, but Miller just doesn't arrive in time.
He really couldn't get it under his spell there, but had he done so, would have had a good opportunity to serve up some threat inside of this Malines penalty area.
Denardo Thomas to Ricardo Thomas. Moulton. Simpson. Miller. Moulton. Seabright. Greenland can't keep the ball in.
I felt his first touch was good, but just his second caused it to run away from him. But you see Waterhouse, they're probing and they're really looking to try and find the openings. You feel that they have to pass it a little bit quicker as they get to that final third, because we see Molynes United really getting back into their shape, and that bank of four, 2 banks of 4, very close together, not really creating enough space in between the lines for the attacking players from Waterhouse to really operate and turn and run at the defenders or to get shots off on goal.
Waterhouse fans want Mark Miller to leave this, to deliver this one right to the penalty spot, which he does. Oh, the header on goal by Kenroy Howell, but a fine save by Taylor for Maligns.
Beautiful delivery there from Miller, just inviting someone to get on the end of it, and Howell did, and not for the heroics of Taylor, would have given Waterhouse the equalizer.
Yeah, not the easiest of saves those with those balls bouncing a meter or so in front of you. He did well there, Taylor. And there's so much commitment in this Maligns team to protect the lead they've got.
He has certainly done well. Everything that has come his way tonight, Taylor, he has dealt with it, and dealt with it well.
Here's Calvert Fitzgerald, the new coach. Since he's taken over, they've lost 1-0 to Humberland, lost 2-0 to Maligns, lost 2-0 to Tivoli, lost 4-1 to Mount Pleasant. Humberland, Portmore, Tivoli and Mount Pleasant, the teams that have beaten them under his watch. Overall, 7 losses in a row for this Molynes team. Nelson tries to get it in. Laws coming away with it. Look at the speed from Donardo Thomas. Moulton is sprinting toward the box. Damian Thomas stops Donardo Thomas. So the battle of the D Thomases.
And he just felt he had to, because Molynes United, they were well out of shape, really chasing back a lot of players, trying to make recovery runs, and for the first time didn't look as organized as they normally are in this encounter, and as such you felt had to stop the play.
Free kick to Waterhouse. Can Keith Simpson lift his team on his shoulders? In the box, waiting for an opportunity as Mark Miller prepares to deliver in. Miller's deflected off the wall. Problems here for Maligns. I think they've won themselves a corner, this Waterhouse team. This is probably about their 7th corner, maybe.
And Miller's delivery there, just wicked balls. I mean, that one just served to hit off the wall. But certainly Maligns there showing everything on the line to prevent it crossing it, the ball that is.
9 corners that was for Maligns. Oh, that was a left-footed drive by Stephen Williams, who appeared to be headed goalward with that firm strike, but one of the defenders got in the way. 10th corner for Waterhouse. Farquharson gets the ball away. More height than distance on the clearance, but good enough for now. Wow, there's the breakaway. Wilson. Greenland turning the ball back. Here's Wilson now. Ferguson. Right-footed effort, lobbed wide of the goal.
It was a fairly smart play from Molynes United. They knew they didn't have a lot of players in the box and just didn't want to serve the ball up into the box and try and play it around to see if they could get a better chance to shoot at goal. They're going to have to try and use the possession, and they do get it much better in the attacking third.
Some of these Malines players, young but big and strong. Ferguson and Ferguson, two 19-year-olds, but they're big men. Simpson, Miller, Moulton. Deflection. Oh, what a fine save on the near post from Leon Taylor. Ha-ha! There was the deflection, and the ball was going right into the near post, and Taylor got there.
Top of the tree when you talk about reflex, because that one, that little cross inside was looking to sneak into that near post. And if Molynes United were to take something from this, he's put in a man of the match performance so far.
11 corners. Just sprays wide. Well, Malines defenders are working overtime. Their central defender, Kimar Sivright, is a security guard by his daytime job.
So he knows a thing or two of keeping things out, yes, or protecting.
And working overtime as well.
Exactly.
Moulton. Miller. Searching for Williams, who is speedy. But there goes Seawright with a chase. Williams felt Seawright coming and didn't have enough comfort on the ball to take it.
Those balls into the box lands from Mark Miller. Certainly good quality. They're really deserving of some good finishing.
Yeah, it's a trademark of his game. This Miller, Mark Miller. Jeremy Nelson knocks Kenroy Howell over. Here's Miller again. What a delivery inside! Oh, the header inside! Miller! Howell! Heads wide! Waterhouse players hit the turf in disappointment.
I wonder if they're starting to believe that is not going to be their night. And again, just on the back of us mentioning that Miller had some wicked balls played into the box. That was a beautiful one. And in the end, you expect Howell to hit the target, at least hit the target. And just needed to direct out header on goal. Certainly that's the best chance we've seen for Waterhouse to get level in this one. And Gale, Marcel Gale there must be saying, is this the night?
Yeah.
They do not get on the score sheet.
Kenroy Howell, 6 goals already this season. One of Waterhouse's leading scorers last year as well, and 4 seasons ago, before he went to El Salvador, he was the Waterhouse leading scorer with 10 goals. He should have done better there. He knows how to score goals, Kenroy Howell. Watson putting pressure here on Williams. Manhandles Williams. Ferguson fighting for the ball with Miller. Laws. Finlayson. Delightful ball by Finlayson. Thomas wins a throw. Howell. Thomas. Howell. Denardo Thomas. Keith Simpson goes for goal. It skies it.
I wouldn't fault him on going for it in the first half. He really let fly and really tested goalkeeper Taylor. So I guess he was looking for better results on that occasion. Didn't quite materialize the way he wanted.
Apart from the championship lead that they're holding, Waterhouse, they're also trying to protect a very solid home record. They have the best home record in the league at the moment. 6 wins from their 8 home games. Only 1 defeat on their home patch. That was to Mount Pleasant. earlier on this month. Whistle. Tremaine Stewart off the bench. And will this be the game changer for Waterhouse? Williams goes for goal from distance. And the crowd didn't like that. Probably thinking Williams had other options.
Certainly did, but that might just be signs of frustration setting in for some of the players.
Double change, it seems, being made here. That's Fletcher and Tremaine Stewart. It's Andre Fletcher. Denardo Thomas out. So Fletcher in for Thomas. 20-year-old former Dintale man. Now gets some playing time, and Tremaine Stewart is also getting ready to go in. Prolific scorer last year, Tremaine Stewart, in propelling them to the final. Goals he had last year. There he is. Let's see the impact that these Marcel Gale changes will have on this Waterhouse team, because to be honest, they've played really well here in trying to wipe off the 1-0 deficit. I guess the only thing you could fault them with is how clinical they've been, or they've not been, in the attacking third.
Most definitely, because the chances have been created and a lot coming through Miller.
Nelson's cross. Wow! Greenland tries to get a shot off, but it was partially blocked and he didn't really get any power on goal. But Waterhouse having some anxious moments there. Moulton does well.
This fact that they're dominating possession and going forward, Waterhouse, they're going to have to be mindful and stay concentrated at the back. And there we have confirmation of Tremaine Stewart coming in for Denardo Thomas.
Kenroy Howell. Ball hooked away there by Tyrese Winter. Wilson fighting for the ball, or Nelson. So the Maligns captain just beginning to see a real possibility here of creating an upset tonight and snapping a 12-game winless streak for this Maligns team.
Well, and of course, for that, you felt, we spoke about it coming out of the second half, they would have set the target to not concede in the first 10 to 15 minutes, closing down on the 20 minutes in the second half, and they've kept this Waterhouse team at bay.
Yeah, the referee finally spotting an injured Molynes player close to the touchline over on the top side of the field.
And I feel it's good for Molynes United this break, because it give them a chance to catch their breath, but also disrupt the rhythm of this Waterhouse team who just wants to keep going.
Calvert Fitzgerald had been a Molynes coach years ago in the Casafa Super League. Taylor, outstanding tonight. There have been some anxious moments for him in goal, but he has risen to the occasion at all times.
At all times, really putting in, like I say, if they were to walk away with a point or all 3 points tonight, then Leon Taylor would have been the man who really given them a chance to do so, because he has really put in a heroic performance tonight. From reflex saves to regulation takes, it's been really clean, and that one, beautiful, was looking to sneak in at the near post, and he was up for the challenge.
Yeah, and the amount of work he has done is also a tribute to the relentless pressure that Waterhouse has delivered. The yellow card comes out. Was that for Winter, this man? It appears so.
He has been under a lot of pressure. Winter has had a decent game, but it's a youngster that played for Bridgeport 2 seasons ago, doing well in the senior level.
Farquharson does really well here. Good play by Laws. Miller. Finlayson to Moulton. Miller has played so well tonight.
You get the feeling if Waterhouse are going to unlock this Maligns defence, Maligns United defence, it's going to be formed on the end of some pass from Miller. That's how good he has been tonight and the intent from him.
Oh, Moulton. Still Moulton. Oh, doesn't make it count. 2 players down in the box. 3 of them, in fact, 2 Maligns players and a Waterhouse man.
I think it was Damian Thomas there that tracked the run. Did so well to thwart that attack from Waterhouse. And really the stop-start game not really helping the cause of Waterhouse. And there we see Winter kicking out while he was on the turf.
Yeah, that was a yellow card to Tyrese Winter.
He's really trying to do everything to try and help his team take away something from this game. He won't mind being shown the yellow card as long as his efforts would have stopped another Waterhouse attack. And we see Fletcher.
Yeah, the substitute.
He came on in the 63rd minute, he's down. And we hope that he will continue because, as I said, Waterhouse would want to really use their substitution.
Yeah. And apart from the forced change for Keith Wright in the first half for Molynes, they haven't made any changes yet. 2 big names of the past there in local football in the stands. Hugh Bingy Blair, a Waterhouse standout in the late 80s and early 90s. I think Bradley Stewart there was with him just now, former assistant coach of the national team, and also long-standing successful coach at all levels in local football, schoolboy football and Premier League football. So we're on 69 minutes now, so 20 minutes for Maligns to keep the 1-goal advantage they have. But Waterhouse have been so robust and rampant in their attack that if at some point Molynes cracks under pressure and gives up a goal, I can't say that would be surprising. Miller, oh, does really well here. Candidate for man of the match tonight, Mark Miller. Almost everything he touches tonight turns to gold. Nelson, Ferguson.
I think on that previous play, Maligns United would have been quite happy with the fact that Miller had gone inside on that left foot. And despite they had the possession, that would have been part of the work that Maligns United would want to do when Miller gets on the ball. Don't give him the chance to swing that right foot.
Kenroy Howell does well. Oh, the cross inside. Colorado Murray doesn't get there. Where's Fletcher? Keith is Simpson. Blocked by Winter. Well, that was in fact, I think, Tremaine Stewart. Wow. Waterhouse unleashing unrelenting pressure. Here comes Nelson, though. He'll probably want to use his pace. He does now. But smart and assured, Big Sean Laws puts the brake on the Nelson advance.
It was good defending from Laws, just used the body to check the advance in Nelson, but I felt on that occasion there's a substitution coming up here for Waterhouse.
So Coach Marcel Gale going for another trick out of his bag. Rafik Thomas, 35 years old, former Red Stripe Premier League winner with Harbourview. Also played with Boys Town. A player with a lot of experience. And Maligns making their second change on the night.
Greenland coming out. He has had a decent game, Greenland.
Ryan Brown is now on. I did say at the top that the Lions have some offensive options coming off the bench, and there's one of them, Ryan Brown, who is in fact their leading goal scorer. So they have a 1-0 lead, and their leading goal scorer now comes on as a super sub with 18 minutes remaining. Of course, there's Fancy Hugh Stewart on the bench, as well as Nicholas Nelson, who is also a potent goal scorer. Ricardo Thomas does well. His cross not as good as it needed to be. Nelson. This has been an intriguing battle. Calvert Fitzgerald looking for his first win since taking over as the Molynes coach at the start of the month.
And what a place to get that first win here at Jerusalem against a Waterhouse team that has just been riding high in this league and dominating the league, and both attack and defense.
Ryan Brown is complaining that he was fouled by Sean Laws. No sympathy from referee nation.
Just bigger body there.
He did appear to shove him off the ball though. Nelson's pass, looking for Ferguson. Ferguson had taken his eyes off the ball and the pass didn't get to him. Murray does well. Cross inside, dangerous. Miller's cross. Thomas with the header out. The intrigue of this match is the relentless pressure by Waterhouse and the resistance from Molynes in defense and their goalkeeper to boot.
On that occasion, Rafik Thomas was in an offside position, so even if he had gotten that one in the back of the net, that one wouldn't have counted.
Here's Ryan Brown, substitute.
And a former player of Excelsior, played at Manning Cup last season, was 2016, 2017.
Wow, Miller goes away down the right side.
And again, Molynes get him to play that ball in.
What a strike from distance! Keith Simpson with a thunderous right-footed shot that couldn't have missed the right upright by far.
It's a feature of his game tonight. It's a third time I think he has let fly and always going away. Much further away than we initially thought, but it certainly got the interest of Leon Taylor.
Keith Simpson, a well-travelled footballer, also spent some time playing football in Trinidad and Tobago's Pro League for San Juan Jablote and Northeast Stars. I think he also spent some time at Club Sando as well.
electrified the crowd. Look at this piece of play. Ooh, I'm gone. And we are ready.
The rule is to continue to drive for the development of the game here. Although players are selected,
was going in, but certainly the goalkeeper thought he had to do something there.
He certainly had to. I was taking no chances there, and that had power behind it. Might have been going over.
Yeah, I think it was.
He wouldn't have been sure about that, so to do what he felt was necessary to prevent this Maligns team going 2 goals up.
And we saw Keith Simpson unleash a rocket a short while ago, and Farquharson responds with one of his own.
It's as good as any shot that we've seen that has not gone on goal tonight.
Fletcher. I think he was fouled, but because Waterhouse had possession of the ball, referee nation allowing the play to go on. Tremaine Stewart, excellent pass through of the ball, but that one cut off. Miller. Finlayson goes wide to Ricardo Thomas, who plays for the Jamaica Olympic team. Sean Laws goes back inside to his captain. Oh, delightful pass to Kenroy Howell. Howell's first touch, not that bad, but didn't keep it close enough to himself to get the shot off. Howell, the cross inside, Rafiq Thomas! Over the top, under pressure. But the 34-year-old veteran, 35 years old he is, will feel that he should have done better there.
Was definitely will feel that way.
But the ball was
in the end,
robbed off him.
He didn't really, get the shot off.
Yeah, I thought he got a boot to it, but
no,
he didn't have time to get the shot off.
He's trying to set it up.
Problems here. The ball punched into the goal. Did the whistle go?
It appears as if it's a goal given.
Well, Maligns leading since the 3rd minute. Seeing their goalkeeper has had a tremendous night. Mishandled the ball. Punched it in his own net.
And we have a look at it here. We can see what happened clearly. Certainly, he has had a good night, and so with so much bodies in there, you felt maybe he could have held on to it. Didn't get a good punch on it. Had enough time, and you felt to ease his defender out of the way, and that might have caused the problem.
Well, that would be an own goal, wouldn't it be? Because he punched the ball into his own goal.
Yes, the initial ball was not on target, so definitely a own goal for Leon Taylor. We've had a good game tonight.
Yeah, we'll see what the officials say on that. But Maligns will feel as if they've worked so hard and their goalkeeper has been so outstanding for them. Almost cruel for them to concede a goal like that. But again, we spoke of the constant pressure and the diligence that Waterhouse were showing in attack, that there was this strong possibility that at some point the Maligns resistance would break.
And we were saying that we felt that Waterhouse did deserve something from this game, and openly the footballing.
Here comes a similar situation. This time, Nash in goal for Waterhouse. Holds the ball well.
And you felt that's what Taylor should have tried to do on that is win-in situation. There's a lot of crowded body there, and Nash just did well to hold on to that one. But you hope the footballing gods will smile down on this encounter. It's been a good one, and defensively, Molynes United, they have done well, and you feel the gods ought to just make this one go at 1-1, but you have to earn your keep in this sport.
Oh, Seafrat robbed of the ball by Fletcher. Tremaine Stewart. Ferguson. Here comes Ferguson again. Offside.
And despite Molynes United in the second half had not had a lot of clear-cut opportunities, they did have some chances where if they were more clinical in terms of or better with their passing in the final third, could have created an opportunity to get a second.
Rafiq Thomas from the left side. Separate though held on to by Taylor in the Maligns goal. This has been a rousing match for both teams.
And a good game to watch, Lance.
Ferguson. Thomas with the interception. Can Waterhouse steal it late on? Winter. Calls his man. He's on a yellow card already, remember, Winter. And that wasn't a good challenge there.
Referee Nation letting him know that you're walking a very thin line, young lad.
Yeah.
And I feel if he was not on a yellow card before, I mean, I think Referee Nation might have considered that, but
yeah,
that certainly would have gone in and is a yellow card contender.
Yeah, that could easily be rated as a yellow card offense, which would be second bookable offense of the night and a red card.
And not for the first time in this encounter we've seen Referee Nation not opting to eject a player. Early in the game we saw a little scuffle that could have gone that way.
Waterhouse trying to steal it. Oh, what a save from Leon Taylor! Tremaine Stewart with a fierce right-footed drive from distance. And Taylor had to fly for that one.
Literally flying, Lance. Definitely that shot caught in midair would look like a bat flying out. And you spoke about Tremaine Taylor having good pass in technique. That was a good shot on goal.
Can Waterhouse, the championship leader, steal it late? Stewart will be disappointed with that effort.
And despite his mishap, Taylor, you want to feel like none of these Molynes United player can really get on his case, because despite him being culpable in allowing Waterhouse to get back into this encounter, he's pretty much kept Molynes ahead in this encounter. And if they walk away with something, then for sure he would have been a big contributor to that.
Yeah, I guess the mishandling of the ball on his part certainly spoiled his man of the match claims, and even with that I would still think he's a candidate.
I would definitely think so.
Molynes making another change. Ferguson.
To Jay Dixon there, the substitute coming on, just not getting to the pace of the game, just overcooking that pass.
In the final 4 minutes. Wow. Sure what Dawes did there. Appeared to have control over the ball from Ryan Brown, but opted to go back to where Brown was.
Brown showed good strength there. He's a burly player.
Brown's cross. Effort there on goal, but Ricardo Thomas gets in the way. Serginho Frankson looking for a double that could have sunk Waterhouse tonight.
That was a poor pass there from a player that is known for his passing, and give the defender credit, just held his ground.
Nelson. Dixon. Fouled by Mark Miller. Free kick to Molynes. Yellow card coming out for Miller.
And I felt Frankson really had an opportunity there. His first touch looked to be very good and just couldn't get his feet sorted out to get that shot off. And Miller there a bit late.
Well, Maligns for well over an hour tonight, as we see the yellow card confirmed for Mark Miller. For well over an hour tonight, the Maligns team were harboring thoughts of snapping their 12-game winless streak. Can they resuscitate those hopes with this free kick? Poor effort. Wilson appearing to lose his grip there and just slid as he was about to strike on goal. Given how things have gone tonight, Waterhouse may well feel okay with a point. Oh, Dixon robs him of the ball. Ball inside. Ryan Brown. Oh, that's a pass back to the goalkeeper. Not a shot.
The difficult technique to execute there. Back to goal, looking to swivel, turn and shoot. Didn't really get the connection on the ball as he would have liked.
Maligns getting two really good opportunities there to win the match late on. Whistle.
A penalty.
Penalty. Yes, referee nation has awarded a penalty.
But you felt, Lance, that Waterhouse in chasing the winner was really leaving a lot of gaps at the back, and 1v1 situations were not dealing with it quite well. We have a look here.
Too sure about that one.
Looks a bit soft, maybe another angle.
Ryan Brown was just throwing himself into the play there.
Looks like he was already going to ground when contact was made by goalkeeper Nate.
He just threw himself into the play. So Maligns will have an opportunity here to snatch a win. Here's the play. Look at Brown now. Well,
on that, with that
from that angle,
it looks like Mitch went through him, but
well, from that angle, and this is kind of the angle that referee
Nation would have been looking at.
Nation saw it from.
Yes.
Yes. So both challenges there involved Sean Laws, although I think it was the last contact from the goalkeeper Nash that tumbled Brown over.
I think you're giving referee Nation credit. I think he got that one correct.
Jeremy Nelson with an opportunity to win it here for Maligns. Oh, what a strike! 2-1. Jeremy Nelson, fourth goal of the season, and in stoppage time, Maligns are on the verge of scoring their first win in the Premier League since the 6th of October. And Waterhouse, the championship leaders, are facing defeat.
Looking to turn the tables. They lost 2-1 to Waterhouse in their previous encounter, and this time they're leading two goals to one. And Nash would have felt that he could have stopped that one, just diving over it. Wasn't well placed in the corner, but in the end, I don't think Nelson will mind the fact that it hit the back of the net, and to know they will look to hold on. I think a minimum of 4 minutes have been indicated, but I think we'll go beyond that.
Well, is there another twist to this fixture here at the Jerusalem Stadium for Waterhouse? They worked tremendously hard to pull the game back, but now they're behind again. Good cross. Taché Dixon trying to get to it.
I think Dixon has done well since he has come on.
Keith Simpson tumbles over from the challenge from Damian Thomas, and in a very, very encouraging position, Waterhouse have a free kick.
And I think they were troubled there with Dixon driving forward. They were worried that he would have gotten a shot off. We've seen him, Keith Simpson, we've seen him let fly already tonight, and they were more concerned here. Molynes United didn't want to give him that opportunity again. In the end, challenge there coming in from Damian Thomas.
Thomas stopped him, and Waterhouse having an opportunity now to get another goal back.
Interesting to see what size wall Leon Taylor sets up, because this is...
I think you'll need at least 4 players in this wall.
Most definitely. Not quite central, but enough of goal will be seen by the player looking to take it. We see Tremaine Stewart showing some interest, and it seems like he's going to be the man.
Tremaine Stewart has scored some brilliant free kicks in the past, and add that one to it. Oh no! Off the post and wide! Tremaine Stewart! Well, I thought he had it as well. It hit the inside of the post and rebounded across the goal.
And
Tremaine Stewart can't believe it.
I would dare to say everyone in this house would have felt so as well, including all the Maligns players. But that was a beautiful free kick, and Taylor, who has had a good night, was just a spectator.
That almost defied physics, didn't it?
It almost did. Almost hit the net, the other post. So often you see that one going in after hitting the post.
The corner, squeezing away from everyone. Ricardo Thomas, the 4 minutes expiring. Taylor makes no mistake this time.
He will crush that one like a...
What a night of football we've seen, Dwight.
It's been an exciting game, and lots of shots away from the 3 goals we've seen. Really has been an exciting game. So it's definitely a game in which the Lions would have felt that they have done enough, and they certainly have done enough. And in the end, I think with that winning penalty, secure the 3 points, but also secure what I think was a man-of-the-match performance from Leon Taylor. He made a blunder in letting Waterhouse back into this encounter, but was spared of his blushes by Jeremy Nelson, who scored a 92nd minute penalty, and to allow Malines to turn the tables on Waterhouse. They lost to them 2-1 in the previous encounter this season. On this occasion, they managed to walk away 2-1 winners, and also to stop their slide and put some daylight between them and the relegation zone. It's been an exciting Monday night football, and confirmation of the scoreline here. Molynes United 2-1 winners over Waterhouse, and all 3 goals scored by Molynes players on the night. We take a break and we'll come back to really look at what went on in the night and recap the night.
One bag of gold medal pan me now. Red stripe alone champion boy go. Pan a pour them a singing Anthem. Red stripe, watcha. Man shall I made a forward boy. Red stripe Premier League champion boy score. Every goal winner run from boy. Red stripe Premier League champion boy now. Back down we run him all again boy. The Red stripe Premier League champion boy. Yeah yo.
And here we have it, the confirmation of the scoreline tonight at the Jerusalem Mini Stadium here. It's a 2-1 for Malines United over Waterhouse, and we take a look at the highlights in this one. It was an exciting game, and early in the game Waterhouse committed players forward for a corner, and Malines taking advantage of the fact that Waterhouse was out of shape and outnumbered at the back, and quick counter-attacking play was 3 passes and the ball was in the back of the net. That was in the 3rd minute. Frankson putting Malines in front, and it seems ages ago that one went in, and Waterhouse they probe and they pressed and looking to peg Malines back, and again Waterhouse fall into a chance here, and Taylor, who had an outstanding night in goal, clutches at that one, preventing Waterhouse from leveling the score. Again we see Waterhouse really pushing, and again denied by Taylor. Acrobatic save, flinging himself to his right and stopping again a Waterhouse. Incessant pressure coming from Waterhouse, and we see another pressure here from Waterhouse, and a lot of efforts we saw coming from distance from Keity Simpson, and that was just one of many on the night, really testing and stinging the palm of Taylor. And we saw Miller also putting some wicked ball into the box, and again on that occasion it was Howell who should have really made that one count. Again we see Miller doing his trickery down the line, and a smart save again from Taylor. That one looking to sneak in at the near post. It was Moulton, and Taylor equal to the task. Again another one of those delightful, delicious pass into the box, and you felt on that occasion Waterhouse would have levelled, and not so wide of the target. And coming in from a corner kick here, goal gifted to Waterhouse by Taylor, who had an excellent night. Own goal in the 79th minute, really had to ease his defender out of the way, and that really affected his effort to really make good contact on the ball. And at that point you felt Malines, with all their hard work in defence, would have given up the chance. And with Waterhouse searching for the winner, was leaving a lot of holes at the back, and in the end penalty. Referee Nation pointing to the spot. Really had a good view at it initially. It didn't look that way, but in the end goalkeeper Nash, as we see here on this angle, went straight through Ryan Brown, and for sure good call. And then the resulting penalty put away by Nelson, Jeremy Nelson. And Nish went the right way, just went over it, and you could see there frustrated because he felt he should have stopped that one. But there was no stopping Molynes tonight. They were hell-bent on getting all 3 points and stopping the rut. This is a wicked free kick from Jermaine Stewart. That one, Taylor, really a spectator, and all of us in the house here felt that one would have given Waterhouse a point, but that was not to be. Malines United walking away with all 3 points. If we look at the full match stats here, 18 shots on goal, 18 shots, 10 on target for Waterhouse, 7 from Malines United, 5 on target. It wasn't a dirty game by any means, but lots of fouls in it. 17 committed by Malines, 9 from Waterhouse, 2 yellow cards for Waterhouse, 3 for Malines, and in corner kicks dominated by Waterhouse, 14-4, and heavy on the possession, 60-40 in favour of Waterhouse. But Malines, they won't mind, because at the top of that stats sheet it is the scoreline that matters most. 2-1 over Waterhouse. And we will throw you down to Lance Whitaker, who with the MVP, Leon Taylor.
Well, thank you very much, Dwight. It's been a roller coaster tonight here for both these two teams, as Waterhouse looked as if they were beaten, then they looked as if they got a share of the points, then they lost it close to the end. The big man on the night, Leon Taylor. What a night. You're a man of the match, sir. Congratulations on a fine performance. It was an up and down night for you, because you were tremendous most of the night, but then you mishandled a ball that could have cost Malines the game.
Yes, it could have cost the game, but you know, as I said, we are a team. We're a team player. The backline always encourage me. Coaches on the sideline always encourage me. So them always keep confident and come again. Even though that mistake was made, I blame myself. Sleepless night tonight. You know, but as an individual, I have to grade myself among a good game today, but just one mistake. I'd have to shake off that again and come again and know have the team full support. And we thank God for this win again. Thank you again.
Which do you think was your best save of the night?
The free kick.
The free kick?
The free kick.
Yeah, it was tremendous. That was the Keith Simpson free kick.
Yes, that's exactly free kick.
Yeah, thank you very much, Leon. You had a tremendous night. We saw the mishandling there. We saw that it was just a moment of disappointment for you, but well done for keeping your head and the encouragement from your team.
Yeah, man, thank you.
Okay, Leon Taylor, a former Charlie Smith man. Well done, youngster. Very, very outstanding in goal tonight. He was really the difference between Maligns and a defeat tonight, because there were several Waterhouse goals that could have been there, but he was outstanding. Marcel, disappointed, of course, Waterhouse, the leaders, losing on your home patch here tonight. Only the second loss of the season at home, but the goalkeeper for Molynes was tremendous, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was excellent today. I mean, he made a difference today between 3 points and a point. But kudos to them. But they were disciplined today. You know, we get a lot of chance. We should have won the game, but I still think we could have got a point out of the game. But nevertheless, nothing has lost. We lost our 3 points. But we join board and we come again to live it fight the next day.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Marcel Gale, coach of the Waterhouse team. Let's get Craig White in here now. A former Waterhouse man himself, in fact, was captain of the Waterhouse team the last time they won the championship back in 2006. But he has created a lot of misery for them tonight with a Maligns victory. What a fighting performance from your team, Craig.
Spoke about it earlier, right? It's about the togetherness, playing for each other. And that alone will make things happen in football, because still we have enough mistake made, whereas a competent team like Waterhouse should have capitalized on. But it's just the way of the game. When you play with your heart and play with love, the gods of football follow.
What moment bigger than the moment when Leon Taylor mishandled that ball and gave up the goal better represented Molynes being a team, because no one cursed him. I saw them come to him to console him. That to me was the best example tonight of a Molynes team that were playing for each other.
Changes, as I said earlier, who came in and a lot of dismantling. That is a good sign of it. Even on the bench, you could hear the reserve them say, keep him motivated, which you know a situation like that, coach with a coach ear turn grey, when you hear that, you kind of like say, all right then, it'll get there. So let me help cheer him on too, and it work out.
Thank you very much, congratulations.
Love you, thank you very much.
Right.
Love you.
Craig White, a former outstanding RSPL player himself, assistant coach here of this Molynes team that got a great result tonight. They haven't won Molynes since the 6th of October. 2.5 months of football without a victory, and they got one tonight against a team that is the best in the land at the moment, and this has been a tremendous fight here from the Molynes team, getting a 2-1 victory. Leon Taylor, man of the match in goal. A tremendous performance from the former Charlie Smith player tonight. Coming up on Sports Max on Monday next week, UWI against Mount Pleasant at the Tony Spaulding Sports Complex in Red Stripe Football Mondays on Sports Max 2. It's been a tremendous night here at the Greenland Stadium. Waterhouse, the home team, beaten by a fighting Maligns team who snapped a 12-game winless streak and beat the leaders by 2-1 at the Greenland Stadium.
Red Stripe, Premier League. I miss one bag of gold medal pan me now. Red Stripe alone champion boy go. Pan a pour them a singing Anthem. Red Stripe, watcha. Man shall I be the forward boy. Red Stripe Premier League champion boy score. Every goal when I run from boy. Red Stripe Premier League champion boy now. Pop down we run the marathon boy. Them wish I never made it at the champion.